Nation.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Welcome into DNVR Buffs Primetime. We are presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use that code BUFFS Buffs to get in the door. Sold out game.
Sold out game, but better prices than we've seen in the last few weeks. $140 to get in.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
$140 to get in, but then with BUFFS, it's $20 off.
True.
Exactly.
So it's $120 to get in.
$120.
Exactly.
And the longer you wait, the better the prices get. Game Time.
Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Actually, we're down to $130 in a good spot, too.
There you go. Thee
DNVR
Pregame Show.
I got to come up with something, man.
Week 7.
You say Buff Nation.
Uh-huh.
He says, let's go. I got to hop on that train with something.
That's true.
Man.
That's true.
Like, we've reached the midway point this season, and I haven't offered in a catchphrase. Not now, just something to think on.
All right. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it.
Kick around some ideas.
Buff
Nation, let's go.
We're being accused of twerking mightily by the chat here.
It's one thing to twerk. It's another thing to twerk mightily.
Yeah.
That's like the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes.
That's the vibe I'm getting from them. They are not happy with the.
We are
the
mightily twerking?
Dang.
Well, okay, if we were to twerk, let me know in the comments who would be the best twerker out of the three.
Oh, my God.
Not that we're going to do it. If we were to twerk, who would win the twerk off? I got my money on RK.
Now,
let me tell you why. You're passionate.
that is true.
You're passionate. Jake will fold early. He'll give it his best, but he'll be like, you know what? I can't win. I'm tagging out.
Wow. I don't think he would even try.
I've seen you crank it like Soulja Boy on the Arizona street, so I believe you would win the twerk off.
That is true. I was vibing.
Oh, man, you were in the zone.
Yeah,
you were in the zone.
I was vibing.
Chat says RK, Neely, RK for sure, RK.
I'm telling you, man. Let's go. Like, dude, it's a compliment.
Hey, at least I know I got something to work with. I just got to figure out what to do with it.
Oh, man. All right. Let's talk about this game. The Buffs taking on Stanford tomorrow night. Going to be a bit of a chilly one. The Buffs favored by 11 points, though. We'll start with this. Do style points matter in this one?
Uncle, I'll let you start.
I mean, I don't know if y'all want me to start. I don't even know if you want me to touch this subject because I'm like Coach Prime. I don't believe in trap games.
Yep.
And unlike Coach Talk, you're never supposed to talk about a must-win kind of situation. But, hey, man, this is a must-win. This is a must-win, and I'm going to tell you why it's a must-win to me. We are sitting at 4 wins. 6 gets you in the bowl game, right? When you look at this matchup and it being so favorable for us at home, coming off a road win, going into a bye week, when we get over this one, let's say we win it, we're at 5. When you get back into November after we get from UCLA, man, of our 4 remaining opponents, like 3 are ranked in the top 12. And so if it takes 6 wins to get to a bowl game and you're at 4, the next one matters a hell of a lot.
And the goal doesn't have to be going to a bowl game, but whatever your goal is, you have to get this one.
Yeah.
No matter what your goal is, if the goal is to get to a bowl game, if the goal is to win the conference, if the goal is to whatever, no matter what your goal is, it starts here.
Yeah, the math becomes making this one, okay, I got to get this one.
Yep.
Like, because if I'm trying to get to $3, I got to make the first $1, got to make the second $1. So, whether we win by 30 or win by 3, I'm going with Al Davis. Just win, baby. Like, we got to have this one. This is at home, gold out, night game, ESPN. First time this team under Coach Prime is going to play, with some chill in the air, and it's going to be down in the 30s. I'm not really concerned so much, Jake, about the style points as much as I am like, we got to win and can't make this like the Colorado State thing. We got to win and be dominant because we need that going forth.
I'll say they do need style points.
Okay.
I think they need to get off to a strong start. I think they need to be up double digits, let's say, by halftime, and at least double that by the end of the game. I will.
Okay. Because I assume the halftime line's probably like 7 or lower.
I mean, this is the last 3 weeks have been tough for this team, obviously. No Travis. You've had to kind of change exactly how you want to call the offense and defense. Now it's time to get back to who you are. Shador is Shador. Travis is going to be back. Get this running game involved. Get Dylan involved. And let's go out there and put 50 on him.
I hear you, man. And amen. God bless it. I hope it happens. But you said something right there at the end that is, for me, the key. You said get back to who we are. Mm-hmm. Outside of having the nation's best quarterback, who the hell are we? We've yet to establish a real identity 6 games in. You know, we're not known around the nation as kick-ass defense, even though we're leading the nation in takeaways. We're not known as, oh, man, they're going to pound the ball and run it all day. You know, it's certain things we're just not known for other than having a great quarterback. So I'm with you on the style points in this regard. It gives us the opportunity going into the bye week in the back half of the season to establish an identity, which I would love to see us do.
What's crazy is, despite having the number 1 passer in the nation, the identity isn't even like, oh, they have this unstoppable passing game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm just trying to think back to like those Washington State teams where Mike Leach had the air raid humming.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. That was you're like, oh gosh, you better watch out because they can sling that thing around. Like, it's not even about the passing game. It's just Shedeur. Yeah. Like, the identity is 2.
I think we have made people afraid to play us in the last 50 seconds, afraid to play us in the last 2 minutes. We've yet to establish an identity or track record that makes people afraid to just play us in general.
Yep. I will say no. Style points not needed. Because I know that if they win the game by 14 tomorrow, I don't think that would count as style points.
No, I mean, you cover, I
covered.
guess, but I mean, I don't think anyone's going crazy over a 14-point win over Stanford.
I don't think so either, and I don't think anyone said that was stylish or overly impressive. I'll come on this post-game, and I'll say there's no pictures in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
That just wins. That's all they count is did you win? Mm-hmm. And so I think I would be disingenuous to right now say they need style points because I know tomorrow night when they win, I'll be saying I don't care how they won. They have 5 wins, and guess what? Now they have a bye week to go and get better because we all know they're going to have to get better. Now I'll say this. If they get style points, it will make everyone feel a hell of a lot better.
Yes.
Because you know whether it's internally for Buffs fans or the haters are going to be saying, if you can only beat Stanford by 8 points, well, then how the hell are you going to beat Washington State? And there might be a point to that. Now, I think every game is different and every game exists in its own way. Mm-hmm. But in the end, if it's about feeling good, do we feel good? Then, yeah, sure. You need a couple style points. If it's about what this team can be and is and their goals moving forward, to me, the style points don't matter.
I agree. Well, I guess I already agreed. Yeah, but that's, I mean, well said. You know, for the people who will say post-game, you only beat Stanford by fill in the blank. So, you know, you always have the haters out who try to discredit the celebration. But they never say, well, you only lost to USC by X amount. Mm-hmm. You know, there are things about this team that you can yin-yang one way or the other. You know, and the last time that I checked, man, this is a team that has a quarterback who's leading the nation in yards, have a defense that's leading the nation in takeaways, and that's even with not getting an INT last week in Arizona. So I'm looking forward to getting one here at home. This team is built, man, that we can blow these people out by 21-plus points. But we know the way we have performed and come out slow that, hell, man, it can be tied to halftime. We can't take this game for granted just because of what Vegas is saying now finally in our favor.
Yep.
Let's go out there and play ball and win, man.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and you brought it up, Unc. I mean, this team is still searching for an identity, and I think that's part of why I think style points kind of matter this game is you need to start to try and find yourself and find exactly what you're good at offensively and defensively and start to just assert dominance, really.
So let me ask you this, Jake, in that vein, because I love it. I love what you're saying. What would you like to see that identity be? You think we should come out running? Come out like what's your look?
I think more offensive balance, of course, for sure, but just consistently picking up first downs, like offensive momentum throughout the game, not just like we look at the stats, and I'm just looking at them. When you look at CU's passing stats, they're up there with the best in the country. Mm-hmm. But as Ryan said, you don't look at this team and go, oh, this is like the vaunted passing attack of the Pac-12.
No, you don't.
So establish that. Have some balance, be able to be lethal downfield, big plays, chunk plays from the start of the game throughout the first half into the second half, not just the last 2 drives when the game is on the line. And then defensively, get some sacks, get into the backfield, get some turnovers. I think that was the start of their defensive identity was they're able to pressure teams into turnovers. We haven't really seen that the last 2 weeks. get back to that, and that's back to establishing your identity.
I like it, Jake. I like your pushback. I like the way you held your ground and didn't let the 2-1 vote make you change your vote. And you backed it up, man. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'll say
because
that.
I want those things to happen. I'm still saying the win is more important than the style, but I am with you in this regard. If the style points start with this game, then it's really not going to be identity changing unless we do it against UCLA too.
For sure.
You know, like we got to start somewhere,
right?
You know, who we are, what we're going to be, how we're going to be dominant, but it doesn't change people's minds until we do it again. And so one of the styles I'm looking for in this team is consistency. We do something one week. Man, we haven't seen a lot out of Dylan Edwards since TCU.
Yep, hasn't scored a touchdown.
It's like we forgot he's on the team, you know, schematically. You know, and so it's like, hey, man, let's pick something that's working, stick with it, and run it up.
Well, then to build on that, their identity should be speed, getting their playmakers out in space.
And that goes to what I was going to say. I think the identity could and should be, which is vertical passing.
Yeah.
You saw that start to develop when Travis Hunter was out there. And, you know, you almost hit 2 to him in the first half of the TCU game. You do hit 1 to him later. You hit 1 to Zay up the right sideline in that game. Like, the vertical passing attack was crushing it. And without Travis, you didn't have someone who struck fear in the opponent at all times of the game because of his vertical ability. So now you do. And guess what? You can't be afraid of everyone. So they're going to be afraid of Travis Hunter. They're going to be able to try and take away the vertical passing game to him. You're not going to be able to do that for Zay. You're not going to be able to do that for Jimmy Horn. You know, think back to I think it was the Nebraska game, like the big over route for Tarvaris Dawson. Like, these are the things that you can do when Travis Hunter is on the field because he commands so much attention. So I would love to see the big deep overs, the big 9 routes that they're hitting deep. We haven't seen them hit a deep post, I don't think.
Yeah.
So those analysis.
That is what I want to see this team's identity to be, because we know that Shedeur is going to put it on the money if you give him time and the receiver's open.
Yep.
Great analysis. You should consider hosting a sports show about Colorado football. I don't know how much spare time you have.
I've been thinking about it my whole life, man.
Yeah, there you go, man. You should stop putting that on the back burner, okay?
All right,
just do it. Just do it, my friend.
This is the first CU Stanford game where CU has been favored since they've joined the Pac-12.
You could probably say that about a lot of teams in this conference.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's one of those stats that just, not a lot of meat behind it because we know the condition of Colorado football the past 20 years.
Well, we also, look at where Stanford's come from, too. They were a powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Last time they beat CU was in 2015. Kevin Hogan and Chris McCaffrey were back there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Powerhouse.
I remember that game. It actually wasn't Kevin Hogan who started the game. It was someone else.
Oh, really?
I guess they just go independent from here, huh?
Stanford?
They're going to the ACC.
They are going
yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Them and Cal. Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
A team on the Bay in California.
Man, can you imagine
playing in the Atlantic Coast Conference?
Can you imagine what the softball team has to go through? like it's, I know the football is the bell cow. It is what funds the whole athletic department, no matter where you are. But when you go with these conferences and these big gets outside of regions, man, the travel that is for tennis and softball and volleyball and
track team, my God, bringing that many people across the country.
Yep. Not that this is any news to anyone, but it also just highlights how little the student part is in student athlete.
Of course.
It's getting smaller and smaller every semester.
Exactly.
Not every year. Every semester it means less and less.
And, to Coach Prime's credit, the student part is the best it's ever been for the University of Colorado football team. But it just what I mean is the organization that is the NCAA cares less and less and less and less about the student part because that's not what brings in the money. And it's not even the NCAA as much as it is the conference.
Whether you believe that's true or not, you just look at the outcome, 30,000 foot. But 3,000 foot in this organization in Colorado football, Coach Prime starts off his press conferences with shouting out the student athletes, academic athletes of the week, man. And, we have the traveling study hall with us, and you have the mandatory study hall here for home games as well. So there's a hell of an amount of emphasis placed on student inside this program. But when you start having to travel across the country for games and some of these conferences are going to be doing, like, man, when do they go to class?
Well, and football plays on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
All the other sports play during the week.
Yeah. Well.
All right, let's move on. One more quick shout out to our friends.
That was better than this. In Arizona, you gave us this. Here you said, let's move on.
Because that was the second break, and we are precisely at 15 minutes right now. We're doing great on time.
We are on time.
Thanks to RK and Neely.
Shout out to our friends once again over at Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Not just Buff games, any game, but also any concert or event. Check out Game Time. It's the best way to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price. If you guys download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. How's the spirit of the Buffs today?
Great. She's all the way back there.
There you go. Shout out to Saturday Neon. The company started by two friends and former college roommates at CU. They make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. They've got the Buffs. They've got 19 other select schools. Everything is shipped that you need to mount, power, and dim every sign. They're easy to install and operate. Go to SaturdayNeon.com. Use the code DNVR. You'll get 10% off of your order today, and you get free shipping on orders over $200.
Real quick, you talked about the 3,000-foot view. I want to take the 5,430-foot view with a little shout-out to our friends at the 5430 Foundation. We all wish that Coach Prime and the Buffaloes are going to compete for a national title, but without no money, still a wish.
You said it, brother.
So hit up the 5430 Foundation, give what you can, and support the program in a way that you really can't support any other sports. You can't help the Broncos beat the Chiefs tonight. Just as much as you want it, as much as we all want to see it, as much as I wish I could go out there and, stop Patrick Mahomes, which I certainly cannot. There's just nothing I can do. And that's different in the way that college football is currently constructed. You can. So 5430foundation.org, hit them up and help them and help this team reach new heights.
And this is not about somebody getting 5 chains around their neck. This is about supporting this program and not just relying on Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. A lot of people will sit back and go, man, Coach Prime, best recruiter in the nation. We're going to have the best signing class out through the portal and straight out of high school and JUCO. Like, he's got it. Let me just sit back and relax. This collective is designed for Joe, average fan, supporter. We're not talking about $25,000 checks or $25 checks. Give what you can because it helps us. It helps Coach Prime get the best talent we can into this program because the goal is and will forever be a national championship.
Yep.
5430, man. And I love how it's the elevation of Boulder. That's cool.
Yep. And it's not just the elevation of Boulder. It's the elevation of Boulder.
Woo! Wordplay. Killing it. 5430foundation.org, I think is it.
Yes, sir.
Man, go hit that site, make a donation. Tell them 3 Amigos sent you.
There you go. Or the tripod.
There you go. I was going to forget that one.
All right. Just a few social headlines and stuff to get through today. We talked about the Phillies yesterday. I think they started, first pitch was like right when we started or ended the show, basically, or right after. And Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos, with the Coach Prime merch, both hit 2 home runs.
And there's a little bit more of a backstory to it.
Yeah, because it was personal.
Because the Braves made it personal.
Yep.
And they were, I guess, apparently mocking Bryce Harper after Game 2 when they came back and won. So Bryce Harper said, all right. They had messed around and made it personal.
I love
Rocked the Coach Prime gear, got his buddy Castellanos around. And then they hit 4 home runs. It's rare for one player to hit 2 home runs in a game. It's also rare for it's extremely rare for 2 players to hit 2 home runs in a game. But the fact that the 2 guys who wore the Coach Prime merch both hit 2 home runs in the game is so unlikely that had you put $10 on that at our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, that would have netted you $20,000.
Wow.
That's how rare that is.
That's insane.
It's the prime effect, man. All that was missing is after they hit him, just hit him with the
I
Shador.
know.
Bryce
I know.
Harper had a
Dude,
nasty stare down, though, when he was rounding second on the first home run.
He did stare him down. Now all he had to do was show the wrist, and he would have broke the internet.
That's cool, though. But the impact, man, of what's happening here in Boulder, Colorado, at Colorado University in this football program, with this head coach, with this QB1 and all the players in this program, that when you see Major League Baseball heading into the World Series and they're rocking gear from this school, rocking gear from this head coach.
It's
unscripted. No one sent it to them and said, hey, wear this tonight.
Yeah.
Like, they did it on their own.
Yep. Nobody could have predicted that part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so cool, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but it's like everything that happens here has staying power.
Yeah.
Like, Coach Prime wasn't the first person to ever say that something was personal. Shador's not the first person to ever flash his watch. But because it's happening here and now in this moment, everyone ties it back to here, which is an incredible testament to just how many eyeballs are on this program, and also like how important Coach Prime is to the culture as a whole. And then the aura that he has around him, everyone gets to play a part in the culture as well.
There's no better song to sum up what you just said, and Coach Prime uses it when he's getting the team's attention, and it's Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all eyes are on Colorado.
Amen.
All right, Coach Prime yesterday on his coach's show had some amazing quotes. Because we're playing at 8 p.m. again. There's a game before us. There's a good chance this game, again, may not kick off till close to 8:30.
Please.
We're going to be sitting in this room probably 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
No poll this time. We're just doing it.
But Coach Prime to Mark Johnson said, "Who makes these 8 o'clock games? Dumbest thing ever. Stupidest thing ever invented in life. Who wants to stay up until 8 o'clock for a darn game? What about the East Coast? Do they even care about ratings? Is anyone watching it? What are we supposed to do with the kids all day until 8 o'clock? What are we supposed to do in the hotel?"
You know, one thing I love about when you read Prime quotes, not that you're off, not you doing something wrong. I love how you choose where to place the emphasis. You've learned him so much. You're like, oh, I know he said this word. That's he didn't whisper that.
And then he goes, "Thank God we're not going to be in this conference moving forward."
I love it because you could also like copy and paste that to like someone talking about their brother starting their wedding at 8 o'clock. What are we supposed to do with the kids in the hotel till 8 o'clock?
Right.
or a staff meeting at 4 p.m. on a Friday.
Yep.
This could have been an email. Like, what are we doing?
It's
but
pretty.
Last time we played, and it went late night, double overtime.
Most viewed game.
So, you know, the eyeballs that we've been talking about have proven whether we click kickoff at 10 a.m. or 8 p.m., they're watching.
Yep.
But I do agree with Coach Prime logistically. It is a challenge. You know, you're used to going to the team hotel, doing the team dinner, coaches speak, night, get up in the morning, come to the stadium. You know, they'll be at the team hotel, man, almost 24 hours.
I know. And I think it was Shiloh talking about how he and Travis like buy each other food on these days.
Yep.
I'm like, they're so bored they're out there eating Chick-fil-A, like just trying to pass the time.
Yeah, it's a long day.
And it's even worse, you know, because I think Mark Johnson said back to him, well, you guys can watch football. Coach Prime responded, who's playing
on Friday night?
Who's playing on Friday? He's right. If it was a Saturday night game, then at least you can watch football all day. But this one is like, man, I guess they could, like, I don't know. They can do their homework.
I love Mark Johnson, but he didn't think that one through.
No,
he didn't.
No, he didn't think that.
It's okay. My thing,
I
though,
also love Mark Johnson.
Is it's not just the late starts, but they have them kicking off at 10 a.m. all the time too. Like, these players are humans, man. Like, they have an internal clock. They get into routines. They get used to certain times. They practice at basically the same time almost every day, and you're just switching it up on them basically on a week-to-week basis.
And for that reason, we're practicing that final practice before the game tonight to get acclimated to being out there in this temperature on this field after sunset. So, you know, that's still to take place. But it does change the human dynamic of it. I think players and coaches, probably more so than fans, appreciate those 10 a.m. and noon kickoffs because it gives you the rest of the day to be with your family. And this is an industry where you don't get a lot of family time, man. And so when you have a 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. kickoff, your entire Saturday is blocked off with football prep versus when the game is in the morning, when the game ends, you get to go be with the wife and kids, or when your mom is in town, dad is in town, grandparents in town, you get to go have dinner with them. But when you're kicking off at 8 p.m., ain't nothing happening after.
Yep.
Except for our live show because we're idiots.
Yep,
we are. I don't. Do you know if Coach Prime tells the team tonight, hey, don't go to bed before a certain it's almost counterintuitive because you don't want to tell them to get less rest, of course.
I think that part is normal. Like you would do tonight what you would do on Friday night, because we've had an 8 p.m. game on a Saturday before. Yeah. The key is, like he said, what do you do with them tomorrow during the day? Yeah. The key is tomorrow keeping people off their feet, even at the hotel. Rest, relax, right. Chill out before the game. Don't run around playing grab ass all over the hotel and, having food fight with the rolls or something just because you're bored. Chill out, go to film sessions with your position coaches that'll happen in the morning. When you get to that afternoon kind of 2 p.m. window, man, go lay down, relax, get off your feet because you're coming over here for the Buff Walk about 5:45, Mountain Time, and it's right into it then. So you don't have time to be exhausting a lot of energy Friday daytime. Right.
I just mean if you go to bed at 10 tonight, then tomorrow your internal clock is going to be saying, hey, it's bedtime, and you're probably used to going to sleep at that time.
Yeah.
It's messed up. But you probably do have to get a nap tomorrow around 3 o'clock just to
reset yourself. Yeah. It'd be interesting the impact that will have on if we finally have a great start or not.
Start. Right. That has to be such an emphasis this week.
Yeah.
With the play callers, with just everything, with the players of, hey, let's put one together to start the game. Let's either get a stop and a score like TCU hasn't happened since then.
It hasn't.
Or if the winds change and they finally lose a toss and receive, then let's have our best plays ready to go score it
and go down the field and do it. Yeah, absolutely.
A few more things. Rose keeps on asking about what the tweet was about last night. We'll get to that after this. This article came out, ESPN Plus, grading 46 college football quarterback transfers in 2023.
Ain't no way Shedeur ran the top.
Well, I was just about to say, the top tier is grade A tier. There are 2 quarterbacks in there. Shedeur is at the very top.
He's got to be.
As he should be.
Yeah,
I mean, if it was just grading any quarterbacks, he should be at the very top.
Yep. After that is TJ Finley. He's Texas State's quarterback. Grade A- is Sam Hartman, Haynes King.
What does it say about Shedeur?
It says Sanders has put up impressive numbers in 2 seasons at Jackson State, 70 touchdown passes and near 7,000 passing yards. But there was uncertainty about how he'd fare in a power conference. He put all those doubts to rest in his Colorado debut, setting a single-game team record with 510 passing yards and an upset over TCU. Sanders has passed for 239 yards or more in 4 or 5 games and completed 72.7% of his passes this season. He has done so playing behind an offensive line that trails only Old Dominion in total sacks allowed. Colorado's run game is spotty, and Travis Hunter has missed the past 3 games, but Sanders continues to hurt defenses, entering the radar for both the Heisman Trophy and the NFL Draft. Without Shedeur, they don't have those wins, a Pac-12 coach said.
Big facts. Big facts. It's dime time.
It is always dime time. And by the way, On3 had him as a 3-star transfer.
Oh, that's just disgraceful.
A 3-star
They don't know ball.
He should have been the second 5-star transfer.
Yep.
There was only one.
Yep, it was Travis.
He also sits in this room every day.
Yep.
There should have been 2, and they should have both been on Colorado.
Absolutely. I mean, just imagine, let's play make-believe a bit, if, I don't know, Georgia had Shedeur Sanders. They'd be a goddamn juggernaut.
Oh, yeah.
They'd put up 70 every week.
I mean, if just about anyone who has an offensive line.
That's true.
Or a good offensive line.
DJ Uyunglele made B-plus tier. Graham Mertz did as well. Keaton Slovis in the B tier. JT Daniels in the B tier. Jack Plummer, former Cal quarterback, leading the undefeated Louisville Cards. He's in the B tier as well.
Keep talking.
Devin Leary is a B-. Tanner Mordecai is a B- as well. That's about it. All right, let's talk about the tweet. Last night, it was later in the night, I think, around 8 or so. But Darius Darden-Box, who is what's his role officially? I think he's is he recruiting coordinator?
Yes. He works in player development under Corey Phillips.
Right.
Yeah.
He just tweeted the eyeball emojis.
Mm-hmm.
Then Chandler Durrell also works in player personnel. Tweeted the eyeball emojis with the buff emoji twice. What does it mean?
I mean, someone committed.
Yes, it does.
It means someone committed, and if I were to guess, that someone is someone.
Yep. Well
You
said.
know what I mean?
Shall we speculate?
Please.
Do we think it's Bryce?
No.
No?
Oh, I'm not in it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm not in it.
Cam Michael was the first guy that I took my mind to.
Yeah, and he announced a commitment date, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't have committed to the Colorado,
Sure.
Colorado last night.
Right.
So there's one. I assume it's not Juju Marks, who then commented on Coach Box's
hit me up
tweet there and said, "Hit me up." But he is a four-star
2025 recruit. Yep.
And then there's been a lot of buzz around Antoine Hill.
Yep.
The 6'5" quarterback.
Same class as Bryce.
Same class as Bryce, but his name keeps coming up in conversations for me.
Yep.
So potentially him.
How about maybe Cam Coleman?
Yep.
The 5-star who's committed to A&M. He just came and visited for the USC game on an OV. Jordan Seaton, top ranked tackle from IMG Academy in this upcoming class.
And I believe an On3 recruiting analyst said he heard the Buffs feel really good about where they are with Seaton.
Yeah. Was it Chad Simmons?
Could be.
Who's the guy I just said
I love
to?
these parts of the show.
Jeremiah Beeman, the Alabama commit, the defensive
Because I just wish I had like a white fluffy cat to sit here and stroke.
You could have a black cat from Jalen Ellis.
I could.
But then you wouldn't want it tomorrow.
Continue.
It's Friday the 13th.
Continue, Jake.
Are we done speculating, though? Those are the names that come to mind.
That's not a speculation.
Go ahead.
As you look for the chats, there, RK.
Nick Marsh is coming.
I think that, said it before, I say it again, this is going to be the number one recruit class in the country. This is going to be the number one, however you want to term it, taking advantage, managing the portal, transfer portal class and the way it's set up in college football now. There is more interest in playing for Deion Sanders, Coach Prime in Colorado than we have spots. It's when he says he ain't hard to find, people call here and request visits. Like, this is not the kind of situation where you're calling people say, hey, please come. The phone is ringing in reverse the other way. So I think when we get to that point, these announcements starts happening, and particularly when you get into the season through the new year, I think people are going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away, but not surprised,
right?
Because you've seen him do it before. You saw what he did in a short amount of time this past calendar year, the year that we're still in. You saw what he did at the HBCU in the SWAC conference at Jackson State. People want to play for this guy.
Absolutely.
How could they not? I've actually moved past how could they not want to play for Coach Prime and moved on to how could they want to play for anyone else.
And let me throw me another log on that fire. Being here, being in the team meetings, being out there at practice, I often ask myself, why is this guy not playing harder for Coach Prime?
Yeah.
Like, don't get here and relax. Nick Williams, said it to the team yesterday, Coach Nick over the edge rushers, DNs. Hey, man, like, this is the real world. Like, we're talking to people about sitting in your seat next year. Don't give up your seat because of your lack of effort. Don't take this for granted. Coach Prime and I talked over lunch the other day, and you see a lot of, like, taking these for granted, the facilities, the way we travel, what we eat, the way we move in the building. You can get comfortable. You can't get comfortable in college football, man.
No.
Like, you can't get comfortable because it's free agency like the NFL. They're going to always be looking for a person that can do it better and more consistently than you can. And where do you show that you can do it and do it consistently? At practice, not during the game.
Right. Yeah, I think that after this season, it will become abundantly clear to everyone who's on the roster that you cannot even take a snap off in practice.
No, you can't.
Because they'll file that away and say, got to replace him.
You know, we have what we call loafs, where you go back and track the loafs. And like, hey, man, RK had 2 loafs today. Look at him jogging.
Yep.
Like, everything is measured because everything matters. And everything is being watched. And so when the fans say, oh, we're not seeing such and so on the field, well, it's because the coaches ain't seeing it in practice.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what ties into the recruitment process. And you'll hear coaches around the nation, you know, you look at what Alabama's going through compared to their historic nature. It just ultimately means they missed on a couple guys. Like, they recruited some guys, brought them in to do a certain job, and the guys ain't doing the job. You know, it happens.
All right, let's move on.
A couple more that came in there. Boo Carter. We said Nick Marsh. CJ Jackson. Really quick, do you get a bunch of people in your DMs on various platforms being like, hey, Uncle Neely, can you show my tape to Coach Prime?
Absolutely.
I get them too.
I was going to say, because I get them, and I'm another degree of separation.
I funnel them to the process, to the player personnel guys. Like, I don't literally sit there and take it to Coach Prime. Of course, because that's not the process.
Yeah.
But, you know, and what I tell those folks, like, you send it. We want to know about you. Like, do all the things you can. But if you're doing what you say you're doing, we already know who you are.
Right.
Like, we got Corey Phillips, man, leads a dynamic staff here. You ain't out there throwing up yards or getting that many sacks and you're not on our radar. Like, Absolutely. That ain't happen.
Absolutely.
All right, shout out to our friends at Snarf's. It's a damn good sandwich. Perfect.
Still hadn't had one yet, Jake.
Man, you got to fix that.
I'm keep mentioning it to you for you to fix it. You haven't caught on yet.
I ain't helping you there, my man.
See there? Listen, you see what I deal with? See what I work?
Perfect bread, cheese, meat ratio, great ingredients. John Denaire approved. Were you going to say something?
No.
Oh.
It sounds really good right now. That's
it does. They also have Snarf Burger. That's got 3 locations in Denver and Boulder. They've got Snarf sandwiches up here in Boulder, many locations throughout Denver as well. Be sure to download the Snarf's app today and use the code DNVRFans by, I guess it's still going, to earn a buy one, get one free 7-inch sub. Just download the Snarf's app, create an account, go to the More section, click on coupons, enter that code DNVRFans, and enjoy your sandwiches. Shout out to Snarf's. They've been doing it in Colorado since 1996. And shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook. I already brought up the stat. First time Colorado's been favored in this game since they've been in the Pac-12 conference. 11-point favorites. Team total, I think, is around 35 this time, so they're starting to catch on to you.
Yep.
Is there anything in particular you're looking at?
Well, I will say this. At the beginning of the week, it was at 12, and I jumped on it because I thought this is going to end up north of 14.
Yeah.
I am shocked that it has moved down to 11, and so I like that.
Absolutely. And I don't want to sit here and pontificate on why it has moved down.
Nice word.
I thank you. Because I do not understand.
Mine is 12.5 now, actually.
Oh, so it moved the other way.
It did go that way, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that has to do with Travis?
It could be Travis. It could be the temperature drastically changed. It's a late night game. Who knows? But I do know this. I'm expecting us to do what we're capable of doing, regardless of the kickoff time, regardless of who is injured or not injured. We have favorable matchups across the board where we can take advantage. I think this is also a game where, Shedeur should not be on his butt 8 times. I think it's a game where we should have their quarterback on his butt 3 times.
Yep.
Having said that, here's the challenge, the variable that we do not know, because we do know this. Every week we get our opponent's absolute best. We get a best that they never showed before us and they don't show after us. What does that best look like for Stanford? That's what we got to wait and see.
Yep.
But they're going to be up more than they've ever been up before.
Team totals moved all the way up to 37.5.
Wow.
I do like the first half line, Colorado minus 6.5. It is minus 122 on the juice, though. Yeah. Get in on the game day greatness. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet 5 on the NFL. So just deposit 5, put, anything on tonight's game. Broncos, Chiefs. And then when that bet settles, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly in your account. Again, that's only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, and Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
You know, my only concern with all that, Jake, other than your dramatic pause, which I think was spot on, come on, Ontario, what are y'all doing?
Hey, man.
Why is it void in Ontario, man? Like all the places in the world, no one else is voiding it. I'm going to get up there to Ontario and have a conversation with some people.
If you live in Ontario, come down to the DNVR bar, sign up for DraftKings, and get $200 in free bets.
Let's do it. That's one route, and the other route is get on the Neely train, because when Neely got here to Colorado and certain websites on my phone weren't working, I got it fixed. Ontario, your ass is on the clock is all I'm saying. All right, we're going to get this fixed.
Wow. Okay. I also have seen a bunch of people comment on my hoodie.
Yep.
And so I'm all about giving a shout-out to everyone who deserves it. So Anthony Lawrence Collection is who's putting this one out, AnthonyLawrenceCollection.com. You probably can't even see this on the video. It's the details on this thing that make it special. Man. Like, got gold stitching everywhere. You got gold, like metallic gold tips on the ends of the strings here. I'm sure you can see like this is like a patch, not just a screen print.
Yeah, so. It's kind of raised up there, like embroidered look.
Yeah,
but no corduroys tonight.
Nope.
Black jeans.
I just had to go with the jeans and the Jordan 1s.
Alyssa, how many people are watching right now?
2,000.
31?
Oh, just on ours. I forgot that it's on double. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
3,100.
Either ways, it's a lot of people. Like the stream, whatever channel you're on. Also subscribe to the podcast. Just look up Buffs on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Will be the first one that pops up. We'd appreciate your 5-star review as well.
Go Jake.
And subscribe to the pregame show. Get this man to 100K.
Oh, how close are we?
Yeah, where are you at?
Probably like 98.8, something like that, 98.9.
Subscribe to the pregame show on YouTube.
We can definitely get to 100 before the game tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, with a push, with Jake's push right there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. And no pressure.
Push.
No pressure.
Now you got the Jake push.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Jake just did a push. If Ryan twerks for it, we'll get it tonight.
No, that ain't happening.
Well, we're not going to get it tonight then. Thanks, Ryan. You're a team player. I just asked for one block.
I believe in the people without
twerking?
Yep.
I believe the stick needs a carrot on it. Like
how many views do you think you would get if you just posted a video on your channel that said RK twerks?
You know, here's one way to find out. I can right now post a video that says RK does the Soldier Boy in Arizona.
You could. You could do that.
That's a lit video, by the way.
Oh, man, hey, get in the comments. If y'all want that video to drop, not if y'all want that video to drop, if you want to see RK in Arizona cranking that Soldier Boy as Jake and I tried to work. We were being good citizens and focused.
Yeah, I'm sure about
I will post it.
I'm sure about that.
I was too focused on trying to get an Uber. That was nearly impossible to get.
You were in Uber mode. You were a great manager that night.
And then we got Whataburger.
Whata, baby.
Did, yeah. And I invited the driver in.
You did.
Yep. And I offered to buy her Whataburger.
Yeah, and she turned down both, you know.
Yep.
We were just being hospitable.
She was enjoying our stories. She was definitely soaking that up.
She was enjoying it so much, I think she knows who we were talking about. And go
absolutely.
Tell her, because she was all over it, man.
Absolutely.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Nope.
Oh, my God.
Because this is the guy who brought us buckets of vodka.
That's true.
Instead of just a cup.
Hey.
I mean, I knew the bucket was coming. I wanted the bucket. I was ready for the bucket.
Oh, man. That was a good night.
It was a great night.
Video coming soon, regardless of what the chat is saying.
The chat wants it.
Well, the chat's going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Not a single person doesn't want it, obviously.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. Prediction time. Offensive player of the game outside of Shedeur. Who's starting?
Okay, so this is probably like even a dark horse one. I believe that we're going to commit to the run and believe we're going to give McCaskill a true opportunity. So I'm going with Alton McCaskill.
Wow.
Okay, that is
including that he scores a touchdown running.
Oh, man.
If that was available on DraftKings, you could get some really good odds.
You'd make a ton of money on that.
Yeah. It's obscure, man, but I'm hoping for it.
I love it. You definitely could have used that for your dark horse, but I appreciate the balls that you have to just take.
Yeah, I had to, man. I got to put it out there in the universe.
I'm going to say that this is the official Jimmy Horn game.
Nice.
He's been the bridesmaid a couple different times. He's been the second fiddle a couple different times where he's had a really good game, but you didn't say, oh, that was the Jimmy Horn game. I think this is going to be the Jimmy Horn game.
I like that one, man. I like that one.
I just think, especially if Travis plays, and it sure feels like he will, it just opens up the opportunities for him so much.
I like that one so much. I'm not mad at myself because I'm not going to change, but that's a good one.
Thank you.
Taking Travis Hunter.
Okay, nice.
First game back, he's going to do what he does. We've already seen him on the practice field just being a beast, just being him, and I think he's ready for it. I think he's been chomping at the bit these last 3 weeks. It really pained him to be on the sideline. He's going to go out there and ball out.
So here's the upside to your prediction. Should Travis play and on offense, you damn right Shedeur is going to try to find his buddy. So you got that going for you. Here's the risk of what you're picking. Travis is a phenomenal athlete. We got to see what game shape he's in, and Coach Prime has an eye for game shape. He may not play as much as we think he's going to play or hope he's going to play. But I like the limb you're going out on. I like the bet. I love it, actually, because it could happen. If he's out there, man, Shadeur's going to look for him.
Yep.
Welcome back,
I had almost forgot until I saw the video of him getting that pick over Omarion Miller in practice this week that he is the best player I've ever seen in my life at tracking the football.
Yeah, his ball skills are off the charts.
Absolutely. So it's just a matter of how many reps, how many opportunities he get to prove you right. Same thing with McCaskill, man. I don't know what I think if we give an opportunity, he can do it. But we run the ball by committee, and sometimes another guy doesn't get the opportunity. So high risk on all three of ours. High risk.
Sure.
Big reward though.
Defensive player of the game. Who wants to start?
Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, it is your turn. You never go first.
I will go with Juju Mitchell.
Ooh.
Bounce back.
Bounce back.
Okay.
Coach Hart said yesterday he's going to play.
Yeah.
He also said Demoy's going to play.
Yeah.
But we've seen Juju on the field for this defense. It's pretty evident when you watch the defensive film just how experienced that guy is, just how much football he's played. He's so quick in his reads, and he just knows – he's not like the most athletically gifted linebacker on this team, but he's definitely one of, if not the smartest. And he's going to rack up a bunch of tackles, I think, because Stanford's going to run the hell out of the football.
I love your pick, Jake. I talked to Juju directly, one-on-one, and I will not quote the unquotable parts, but I asked him, was he ready? He said, Coach, I'm ready. Right mindset. I'm really looking forward to this game.
Love it.
And, Hart, as y'all know from the press conference, Coach Hart confirmed he is going to play. I think he's hungry because he didn't get those opportunities in Arizona, but that's a great one, Jake.
Thank you.
And as much as they run the ball, that can happen.
I'm going to take Omarion Cooper.
Good choice.
What a dog.
Trips me out.
He's tied for leading the team in tackles right now?
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you take the number of plays he's played compared to other people, he would be leading because he makes the most of his opportunities, man.
Absolutely, he does. He's been balling out.
Basically, my whole strategy here is good players already, but players who will benefit even more if Travis Hunter is on the field. Because if Travis Hunter is on the field,
Great
they
point.
go the other way.
They aren't throwing it to him.
Great point.
So Coop is going to have a bunch of opportunities to make plays on the ball.
All right, mine is the one who has not let us down yet. He dropped by here a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
I'm going number 7, Cameron Selman, who's leading the Pac-12 interceptions. I'm not only saying he's going to get an interception and here's why I need you to be right. Juju, your pick, is going to do so damn good, and we're going to be so ahead they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yep.
And when they have to throw the ball, Cameron Selman Craig is going to get me one of them.
I love it. And we have Saucy Southern at the tailgate.
Yes, we do.
Which is just good vibes for our guy Cam.
All good vibes.
Speaking of the tailgate.
Yeah.
Forgot to plug that earlier. Basically the cost of the tailgate is worth it just to have a plate that you can fill from Saucy Southern. So come by just for that. I don't want to degrade any Boulder restaurants, but it's at least in the top 5 of the best meals you can get in Boulder tomorrow will be at the DNVR tailgate. Because Saucy
So let me
Southern
say this as a new guy, all right? That way you're off the hook. It's just totally new vibes. Of the places I've eaten in Boulder, of the barbecue I've had in Boulder, Saucy Southern's number 1, man.
It's not even close
Easily.
when it comes to barbecue.
Yeah, so it's like if you need some barbecue tomorrow, come by the DNVR tailgate.
Yep.
Because they hit, man.
We got the beers. We got hard liquor coming this time.
You got the hot links. You're a links guy.
We do have the links.
And I didn't even mean that the Paul's way.
Yep.
I meant that having eaten there with you before.
Sure.
You're a links guy.
Whatever.
So
I didn't mean it that way.
All
Jay.
right.
So come through. It's going to be an absolute blast. And if you're someone who normally hosts a tailgate, you don't want to do that after work on Friday, try and get everything together. Just come by with us.
Man, I forgot about that. People are going to work tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
What losers?
They gotta bring home the bacon.
I understand, man. It is a Friday night game. People are like going from work to the game.
Yeah.
Or to the tailgates.
Actually, the
games.
people who have to work tomorrow are thankful for the 8 o'clock start.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because they can get out of work, have a little bit of time. Because there's nothing worse than when you have to work and then it's like a 6 o'clock start.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the people who got to work tomorrow, man. Find your way here to the game. If not, and you're in Denver, find your way to the bar. Watch party there. If you're here, come to the tailgate. If you're looking for a ticket, go to Game Time, download the app, enter in BUFFS, get $20 off.
Let's go.
Man, what way do we
covered.
not have you covered?
Got you covered. For all angles.
We're missing one place. We don't have them covered with twerks because Ryan RK refused to twerk.
I won't do it.
So we got your barbecue, we got your tailgate, we got your $20 off Game Time app tickets, but no twerking.
Dark horse of the game. I will start. Does Miles Slusher count?
Yes.
I'm picking Miles Slusher.
Great pick.
This guy his performance against TCU was amazing, and then unfortunately we didn't really see him. He was kind of working back last week. Give me a full-strength Miles Slusher playing that star role against a team who's going to run the ball, use play action. Let me get him
Jake, you're on it tonight,
one
man.
turnover at
Jake,
least.
that could absolutely happen.
Thank you.
He's been looking good all week, more and more into it. I would definitely go with him for the UCLA game, not because it's UCLA, but because it's a bye week. Mm-hmm. He's more healed, more healthy, back into it kind of thing.
But no setbacks,
That's
right?
an exceptional pick. No setbacks. That's a great pick, man.
Thank you.
I just hate y'all refuse to allow me to pick units, so now I have to sit here and dissect the D-line in my head.
All right. Well, I was going to go D-line too.
All right. Well, you go first, and I'll pick the name opposite you. Because I think it's the whole unit's going to show up.
Is so loved by everyone, but he hasn't had a big game yet on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to go Bishop Thomas.
Let's go.
That's absolutely who I was going to go with, and I was going to attribute it not only to D-line but his special teams play. But since I yield,
put him at gunner on punt.
Yeah,
dude.
I like the dude. He's a dog in all aspects out there, man. So let me go with Leonard Payne.
Nice.
I go with the double nickel 5-5.
I love it.
Yeah, I do believe as a unit that we're going to sit here tomorrow night into the morning and discuss how this D-line had a dominant game. I believe that about this group for this matchup.
Someone asked me to do something on Saturday morning. They're like, "Hey, do you want to come to this thing?" Like mid-morning Saturday. I was like, "I can't. There's just I can't. I need to just sleep in as much as I possibly can because we are going to be working late."
Yeah, because we're doing. How did a fly get in here?
I don't know.
Like, where did it come from?
It probably snuck into the bags and came with us.
We have been in here an hour or more.
I guess like the vent.
Yeah, and they just showed up at 4:03 Mountain Time and started buzzing around.
Bonus dark horse candidate, Demoy Kennedy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hyped to see that dude out there on defense.
Yeah, we call that in Vegas, call him hedging his bet, man, because he went with you.
I'm not hedging my bet.
You are.
No. That's why I didn't pick him, though. I didn't want to pick two linebackers.
Fair.
Unfair.
Anyone else we want to bring up?
Nope. I think we're good. Should we get to the people after you tell us about someone?
We can get to the people after we talk about our friends over at Backus and Shanker.
To do your job.
Yeah, 2 people. They've been helping Colorado families win for more than 25 years.
The Travis and Shador of law in Colorado.
Exactly. They have as much, notoriety as them, too. They're on the buses, all the billboards. They're everywhere out
I don't think
town.
they quite have that notoriety, but I appreciate the sentiment.
No fees to speak to them about your case. No fees while they work on your case. No fees unless they win your case and win money for you. They've won over $1 billion for their clients.
$1 billion.
They serve all of Denver. They've got neighborhood offices all over the place. More than 30 lawyers, 100 people on staff. They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault: car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, even if you're injured at work. If you need to sue, smash the 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins.
I should get Coach Trevor Riley called in. Coach Trevor was almost hit by a truck the other day on his bike, and he took the bike into the guardrail. And just another Trevor story for the Trevor book that we're
You need to tell him how Trevor got his start with Coach Prime. I don't know if that's
whole another episode, whole another day. We gotta get to the chats, but
really?
Trevor's a special guy, man. Shout out to Trevor Riley.
Share the first chat here from Chris. And they said, Neely, how does Coach Prime pick the weekly uniform?
Vibe. So, of course, he has seen all of them individually. Mm-hmm. And so he will, just like he did in NFL, man, you can go out there and look for pictures of Coach Prime getting dressed in NFL. He lays it on the floor, including the shoes to the side, and he'll take that helmet, take that jersey, take those pants, take those shoes. Oh, let's change these gloves. Like, he is – GQ made him like the fashion guy, the decade or something. Like, he gets it, man, and he gets the look and the vibe, and that's how he goes about it. Smitty brings him maybe like what we haven't worn yet and some of what we have, and he puts it together. It's a Coach Prime function.
And so he does this each week rather than he didn't plan it all out before the season?
It's a little of both. Okay. I think even way back in the spring when he saw the mock-ups, some concepts were put to the side of what he liked.
Right. He's like, okay, we definitely want to
do that. Definitely going to do all that face mask.
Yeah.
And then when it all comes together, it's a week-to-week decision. The final decision is week-to-week.
Shador, Travis, anyone get any input?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Like if you walked in his office and saw it laying on the floor, he may ask you, "Hey, Ryan, what you think about that?"
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's this guy got style, man. He knows what those face masks last week. Mm-hmm. Dude. And how he matched his headset with the team's face mask.
Oh,
beautiful.
The funny thing is, though, I love how, fans, and when Coach Brown was hired, I made a pledge that I wouldn't complain if I didn't like the uniform. And one of the reasons is because I think I have a good sense of style. I'm not in the same stratosphere as Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
So when I see fans
no one is.
bitching and moaning about the uniforms, I'm like, I think Coach Prime knows what he's doing here. And then you ask, what was one of the uniforms they didn't like? It was the Oregon uniforms. Mm. And then you ask one of the players, they're like, oh, yeah, that was cold.
And see, that's where I was going to go. Because I experienced this with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders at Jackson State. The three of us, we're cool kids, so not really us. What you guys have to understand, if the players like it and love it, that's all that matters, because we're trying to also use uniforms to recruit. So if there's somebody 50-plus that doesn't like the uniform, that's a damn good chance we're going to wear that uniform, because we're trying to recruit a guy that's age 17 to 22.
Yep.
And we need them to like it.
Yep.
I have some news.
Uh-oh.
Adam Munster Tigers tweeted out that Antoine Hill is going to be in Boulder for tomorrow's game.
You won't miss him.
6'5".
He is
big boy, man.
Huge. He's huge. So there you go. Antoine Hill visiting Boulder. I told you that name's been coming up a lot.
Yep. All right. You ready, Alyssa?
They should call him Antoine Mountain because he's so tall.
I like
Antoine
that.
Flatirons?
That's a nickname that could stick. Dime time?
It's just one of many that I'll have.
I love this guy.
Whenever you're ready.
Sorry, I'm reading.
That was professional. That was professional for Harry Up. He gives us this, and he tells you whenever you're ready.
That is not what that was.
Oh, that's absolutely what that was.
So Tavon Cooper, he says, Matt, which he's not here, but Matt, can you explain the wartime version of the fight song to the people and how it originated?
The wartime version of the fight song?
I don't know. There's a lot of words I'm not even going to try to say in here. Samoan? I'm not. Sorry.
Sorry, Matt's not here. But next time he's here, we'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
If nothing else, Stanford has a tree. Like, I'm looking at a tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's their mascot.
Yeah,
too.
it's a tree.
The best mascot in what's it called? Mascot mashup in NCAA?
No.
You're saying
I
it's
used
the
to play
best
that a lot.
one?
No, I used to play that a lot. Like, there's nothing like seeing that tree get tackled or tackle somebody.
Because I don't think it has arms.
No, it
so
doesn't.
You just see
Yeah.
the ball like
It just comes
floating.
out, yeah.
That's awesome. Also, Stanford Cardinal. Like, we're just going a color.
I don't get it.
It's not even named after the bird.
I don't get it.
It's named after the color of red that they use.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't get it, man.
That's
It's a tree.
crazy. Well, they had to change their mascot.
Oh, was it? Okay.
They used to be the Indians.
Okay. So then they just went with a color.
I guess so.
They could
And
have
a
chosen
tree.
an animal.
Yeah, a tree.
I don't know, man. I guess creativity went out the window in
Yep.
1970, whatever.
Super chat from Porter Fam. Please get Matt on a team dinner pregame speech.
You know what? That's a good idea.
He needs
Although I wouldn't say a team dinner speech. Yes, no one's going to be able to give a better speech than Coach Prime before the game.
We need to get Uncle Neely and Matt on a show together.
Definitely. Did you see the speech that Matt Rule is getting dragged for?
Yeah. How embarrassing is that?
I didn't see it. What happened?
He gave a speech, and I think that like Nebraska people thought it was cool, so they started posting it everywhere. And in the speech, he was like talking about the game. He's like, "If we die, we die."
Shit. That's not part of the plan, but okay.
It's like, whoa, dude, that's a little much.
Super chat from Bernard.
My guy.
Bernie,
I'll probably get roasted for this, but what does Buff Nation think about a new fight song or chant? Let Jimmy Horn write the lyrics. Keep up.
you're right. You are going to get
go see you
roasted
at
for
the
that.
end. LOL.
I'm in on a new song, a new chant, any of that stuff. I don't know if we're gonna replace the fight song.
Yeah, written by Jimmy Horn.
Back in the day, though, you guys can Google this, or you can find this video on YouTube, because one of the linebackers, his name was Derek Webb. I believe he was from Tennessee. He made a song called "Colorado Swag." It actually hits, in my opinion.
Haven't heard it.
In my opinion, it hits.
Perfect timing coming out soon, though. Maybe that's a new Buff song.
There you go.
Just a question from Colorado Buff. How do you think the colder temps impact the game, especially the kicking?
It makes the ball a little more stiff. Can't kick it quite as far. That shouldn't make. It's not that cold though.
No, it's not going to be that freezing.
What are you?
Oh,
What is that?
Send that to you.
okay.
I don't
This is
know,
a good
man.
way to close the show.
What
man.
is happening right now?
Oh, is that the video?
It is the video.
Let's
Did you
go.
get 100,000? We can't just give things away.
This is. I told you while we were discussing it that forget the numbers. We're doing it.
According to my weather app on my iPhone, kickoff temp 43 degrees.
And dropping.
Midnight 36 degrees. It's going to be pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's the wind. Like today was
The
a
wind has
pretty
been
like warm
awful.
day, but the wind has been vicious, man.
How about
Yeah.
instead of playing that video, we play Colorado Swag?
Wind 2 to 7 miles an hour, gusts up to 14. It calms down in the evening too, though. We should have virtually no wind, basically.
Good.
There you go. Yeah, it won't impact the game that much. It's not cold enough, I don't think, for it to.
No, I
make a
don't
big
either.
deal.
I don't either.
Wear a hoodie, bring a beanie, you'll be okay.
You'll be fine. MC asks, do we see Les Travis on offense this week as he comes back from injury?
Let me just say, if you're not used to this cold, you should wear more than a hoodie and a beanie.
It's not gonna be that cold.
No, I'm just saying, if you're from Texas,
Well, I'm from Mississippi, and I'm definitely wearing a beanie.
you should wear a beanie.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
But
wearing
I also
Over
would
my
maybe
ears, too.
recommend a jacket over your hoodie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I
You
ain't
can
playing with it.
always take layers off.
That's true.
It's true.
And I learned that this past winter, spring here in Boulder. You got to dress in layers. You would leave at 6 a.m. coming to a team meeting, and it's 25, and walk outside for lunch at 11:30, and it was 72.
Yep.
Like you got to put something on you can take off, and then at 4 p.m. it's back to 30.
Yep.
Colorado will take a jacket everywhere you go.
Yep.
Amen. That was the voice of God, if y'all didn't know. God is a woman.
Whenever
MC
you're
says,
ready.
do we see less of Travis?
In fairness, she did ask that. We just didn't respond because we went weather. So here's what I think. I still think it's going to get back to game time conditioning and how he's moving out there. You're absolutely going to see him play offense and defense should he play. Which one gets the most just depends on how the ebb and flow is going and his condition is going. And Coach Prime's eyeball test, which is the biggest test in all this.
There you go. Next.
Super chat from Warren P. He says, just saying what's up from the DMV.
What's up, Warren?
What's up?
Appreciate you, bro.
Warren G.
Lucas asked for the 5430 Foundation. Do they provide updates on the amount of money they've raised up to date?
I do not know that.
But
we
I'm
can
sure
always
as a
ask.
501c3, they do have a public disclosure somewhere.
Yeah.
Quarterly and annually. Don't know what's been posted or shared yet. But it would be.
And I told Louise I would bring this up when the next time we talked about 5430. She mentioned, like, if you donate to a 501c3, a lot of times your company will match that donation. So check with your
Very
company
good,
to
very
see if
good.
they match donations to nonprofits.
Let's go.
Super chat from Cortland Perkins. What would Travis have to do to still get the Heisman votes at this point?
It's over.
Yeah. But those
over.
missed games and missed reps, missed yardage, missed impact, the rest of the world has moved on. As far as compiling their numbers, you can't catch up.
I'm going to say that there is a path, but it requires Colorado going undefeated the rest of the season and him playing both ways the whole way and being dominant.
But I still
think it's
think
over.
I'm with you, but I think your path forward is absolutely right. But if that were to happen, that still puts Shador ahead of him because Shador didn't miss any of the games.
Yeah, and he's going to obviously throw for 350 in most of those wins at least. That's fair.
Super chat from Priest Hakeem. He says, we need Coach Reed on the DNVR buffs, no cap.
Man, I totally agree. Whether we set it up via Zoom or in person, I know he'll be back for another home game. So would love to bring him to the bar, man.
Hell yeah.
Coach Reed.
That'd
We
be
do a show
amazing.
together called The Big Boys. Comes out weekly on Tuesdays. Great talk
Can
about
I get
just
an invite to that? I
Man,
know Jake
yes,
can't come, but
You know what? I wasn't going to say Jake can't come, but you're right. Jake
I
can't
already
come.
knew.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, man, anytime. Yeah, but no Jake though. 'Cause Jake
Jabriel.
likes to wrap people up.
I was just going to say he's not big enough.
He's big in spirit.
Next question.
Jabriel with the super chat. RK Jake, how do y'all feel about the Sanders to ATL?
Not as good as I feel about the Sanders to Denver.
Yeah.
And not as good as I feel about the Sanders to Dallas.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
I
say
think
this.
Everybody's got fans here.
As long as he doesn't go to the Raiders, Chiefs, or Chargers. They don't go to the Raiders, Chiefs, or Chargers.
Well, we know
I'm
the
happy
Chiefs
for them.
are set. The Chargers are also set.
Yep.
So as long as he doesn't go to the Raiders, I'm happy for him.
I
just hope he goes to a good team. He goes
I
to a
might,
good situation.
like spontaneously combust if Shador Sanders goes to the Raiders.
I'm going to vote with you on good situation. It's going to be impossible for him to go to a good team because whoever's picking in the first round, picking that early, because we all know that year after next, because Shador ain't going nowhere this year. I'm talking to the football gods. That you're going to be a team that had a poor season because that's why you're picking that high.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Raiders, I might retire from NFL fandom. I'll just call it.
I mean, like, if he went to the Falcons, cool. Like, I can cheer him on, like, all that stuff. Like, there's a couple teams that I just wouldn't – actually, based on the quarterback situation, there is one team that would just ruin my life, and it's the Raiders.
I understand.
I will say, though, that Sanders 2 jersey would look cool in black and silver.
Don't say that.
Just a bit. I just have to be honest
No,
with the
man.
people. I have to be honest.
You put it,
Now I'm like visualizing
you
it.
put
Stop.
it in the
Next
universe
question.
just like
Next
cussing
question.
at a pastor.
Sean's definitely about them going to Atlanta.
That's
Oh,
his
yeah.
team.
That would also be really cool just in terms of, Sanders.
It
going
would
back
help
to
dime.
that.
It would help your dime time effort.
It would.
There's a super chat about that coming. I saw it.
I saw it.
Do you mean you sent it?
No.
D-Stat with the $2.21 super chat. He
You
says,
started this.
Yep.
21.
We got one yesterday, too.
Yep.
Why not run a spread offense with 2 and these wide receivers?
That's what we run.
It is. It's a spread.
Such a great idea. It's already been implemented.
It's kind of a hybrid between a few different things. There's air raid concepts in there. Although we talked about this, air raid runs a lot of mesh.
Yep. They haven't run it once
Please,
that I can remember.
Please just run a little bit of mesh.
Yep. It's very Baylor spread. You'll see guys split out way out into the alley. We didn't see it a lot last week, but a lot of wide receiver screens. A lot of trying to get athletes out in space, which we need more of.
Yep. Ooh, someone brought up Sanders Bros to Pittsburgh.
Sure.
Then you could have like the Cordell jersey, the Shador jersey.
Fine by me.
Jake's good with 31
Super chat.
teams.
Super chat from Anita Anthony. She says, I am addicted to DNVR and Uncle Neely. Good thing I work for myself or I would get fired.
Let's go. That's amazing.
I love so many people have told me recently, like, man, I just don't get any work done during your guys' show. I'm like,
hey, that makes 3 of us because we don't get any work done.
That's
doing the show. It's the level of fucking off we do while doing a show.
also, I got to give a shout out to 2 guys. I ran into 2 guys separately at the golf course this week who said, this is crazy. I was literally just listening to your guys' show on my way here, and then I see you here, which is pretty cool.
I
see you here. See you.
I got to give a shout out to Shannon and Ben. I ran into them yesterday when we were uploading stuff in the ticket office, and they're here from like New Jersey or something.
That's awesome.
I got to give a shout out to Ben and Jerry's. I had some over here.
Which one?
Which one?
I don't even know, man. It's just.
What do you mean?
What's your go-to?
I don't have a go-to.
Oh,
God damn it, Unc.
What's your go-to?
Cherry Garcia, bro.
Nice.
Fish food is up there too. Fish food's fire.
Fish food is fire.
I have to try that one.
I really like Americone Dream.
Mm-hmm. Half baked is up there too.
Yep, half baked is really good.
I would try half baked for a lot of reasons. I like that name.
Yep. I mean, that's me all the time.
Full baked.
Wow.
We have a video. It's coming.
I wasn't high in that video.
Okay.
I was.
No, I wasn't going to debate it. Like, all right, I'm saying okay. Like I do to ALLCITY, just leave it alone. Like, okay. I wasn't high. All right.
Super chat from Elena Moore. She says, what are your comments about the extremely late hit number 4 committed at the end of last week's game?
Scataboo?
We talked about that.
Yeah.
It was just weird, man. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it is weird. I do think, though, that much like the Travis hit, no matter what, and if you keep in mind now, forget how it all turned out with them, having the kumbaya and moving along. I get it. I still think it calls into attention to the NCAA that you got to be able to go back and look at stuff and levy rulings after the fact. You can't just say we missed it and leave it alone because you got to clean up the game.
Yeah. Coach Prime said he talked to Coach Dillingham about it, and they were all good. It was dirty. I don't know. That's
the game's over.
Yeah, it's a dirty.
At what point does Coach Prime straight up bring it to the NCAA and go, these teams just played dirty against us?
I'm not going to sit here and say that he hasn't. I'm also not saying that he has. As open as this program is and as much that people get to see about this program, there's still a lot of conversations and things that he does that you don't get to see.
Yeah.
And he has extensive relationships across college football and pro football. So whether it's personal or professional, there's no telling what conversations, have been had. But he's also not one that's going to sit here and whine about it because the people in this room who sit in this room, they got to go out there and play regardless.
Yeah. We're like one more away from it being borderline ridiculous.
It's already ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's hatred. It's player hating. Like, I can't win. I can't get the notoriety you guys are getting. I'm mad. I'm jealous. Take this.
Yep.
I'm watching this video before it goes live on here. Just to know what I'm in for.
You've seen it.
Fast forwarding through it. Just
That's all it is.
Yeah, you've seen it.
It's fine.
Super chat from Lanny. He says, CU website says Cokes has 2 years left. Is that true?
I thought it was 1. I would love to be wrong.
I'll tell you right now.
yeah.
I would love to be wrong. I thought it was 1.
Shane Cokes, 2 to play 2.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Yep.
Let's do it. I love 99.
That's awesome. He would have been a good pick for a dark horse.
Yeah.
I was going to go him when you went Bishop, but I started thinking about the schemes and who comes in with the second rotation. So I that's why I went with Payne. But I really want to go with the whole D-line, but this whole season you guys have refused to allow me to pick a unit.
You got to stand. You got to stand on something around here. You know, for the receivers to stand on business.
Yeah, that's why I like you guys stand on business. And
we're SOS. Stand on something.
We do a lot of SOA too, sitting on our ass. Yeah. So by the time we stand, so I get it.
A $21.21 super chat from Tyron Sutton.
Yeah.
He says, "Dime time is a thing."
Let's go.
That's it. That is the message. I hope he gets a signature shoe and calls it dime time.
Hear that, Unc?
Not a signature shoe, though. A signature watch.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. The whole watch thing helps.
Oh, yeah.
The whole watch thing helps, man.
Oh, yeah. That's where it's popping up on
Twitter. He ain't giving up grown. He ain't giving up legendary.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he won't.
To me,
people would just be able to call him Dime. Do you know how baller that is for a quarterback?
Yeah. To me, it's more. It's like Dame Time. That's not necessarily his nickname.
I get it,
but it's a way of life.
I get it. I like it. I'm just saying it ain't gonna catch on.
It's already caught.
I'm looking forward to 2 years from now, sitting here in a Dime Time hoodie, going, you know what, man? Shit, you were right. It caught on. I never shy away from saying I was wrong. Like, I was wrong about special teams. I said all summer our special teams are going to be special. We ain't been special yet. I was wrong.
I'll buy the hoodie for you.
And autograph it.
Super chat from Lamar. He says, "Unc, what does "Thee I Love" mean?"
"Thee I Love" is from the school song of Jackson State. "Thee I love my dear old college home." So we use "thee" in a lot of references. Shout out to Jackson State, because this week and weekend is Jackson State's homecoming. And we play a team from Alabama, the team whose coach shoved away Coach Prime's hand at the 50-yard line last year, who also said on record, "I can't wait to play Jack State again. I hope we play them for their homecoming." Well, he got his wish. We whooped them last year for theirs. They're on their way to Jackson now to play Jackson State for their homecoming. So, "Thee I love, go Tigers."
It's personal.
It's very damn personal, actually.
Priest Hakeem with another super chat. He says, "Unc, what was the message to this week to the trenches?"
You know, it was like a global message to the team about putting in the work, not taking things for granted. You know, that you tired of babysitting you guys, tired of encouraging you to do what you should already be doing. You know what you're capable of. You hear Coach OB say it about individual players on the offensive line, like, I know Jack Bailey can do this. I'm waiting on him to do it in the game. I know that Tank can do this. I'm waiting for him to do it in the game. We just got to get it to translate. I think that this weekend, this matchup, going into that bye week, because you can go all out this week. You got a week to rest. You can go all out this week. I think that this is, man, we can't let Stanford get 8 sacks. Like, we can't. Man, for all the things we talked about to come true, Shedeur can't be on his backside 8 times. You know, I want it to be closer to that 2 game where we gave up 2 1 week. I think our high was 8 and our low was 2. Would love to see a sack-free game. I don't know if that even happens in college football, but we got to get better protection and give him more time for these routes to release, man. And then now you're going over the top like y'all talked about, and you got a Zay and you got a Jimmy Horn, because now their route has been established and they were able to release it. It's perfect symmetry, man. But it starts with the trenches.
Yep.
D. Hicks with a super chat. "Bring the Sanders home. #rise up."
I love it. That's going to catch on.
What, bring the Sanders home?
Yeah, unlike Dime Time, that is going to catch on.
It's already caught. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, our last one, the Waddy Way super chat. He says, "You guys are awesome. Got a few buddies meeting up to watch the game at 10 p.m. their time, as they are all hooked on the Buffs after our trip to the USC games. Go Buffs."
Let's go. Let's go,
right,
baby.
That's awesome.
East Coast guys, 10 p.m.
That's a battle, man.
Yeah, and it's not even the latest game I've seen CU have. I've seen CU have a 11:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. Oh, my God. Actually, no, one time they played at Hawaii week 0, and it started at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, just stop it.
It started at 11 p.m. local time in Colorado. That night I worked until the sun came up.
We're probably going to be doing that tomorrow.
Close. No, tomorrow won't be as bad. I'm putting that into the air. It will not be as bad as Colorado State.
Yeah, because that double overtime.
Double overtime, the hour-long first quarter.
Mm-hmm. The double overtime delayed the post-game press conferences. Just a ripple effect. It won't be that bad.
The worst.
It won't be that bad.
Tomorrow we're out of here by 2:30.
Yeah, assuming for the worst, preparing for the best.
I'm saying by 2.
All right, I love it.
Anything else?
Whenever you're ready.
We're done.
Jake and his politically correct. We're not done. We got a video to watch.
We're done.
All right. All right.
The chat said if Neely gets to 100K, then we play it.
I think that's the right way to go about this.
Well, all right.
But 100K, how about as a celebration after you get to 100K and the Buffs win tomorrow?
Let's do it.
Also, Jake.
Alyssa is in possession of it, so you got it.
What?
You're the only one who didn't get your lyric in.
You are the only one.
And it's over now, so you don't get to try.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
Whatever. You did do it.
All right.
I'll get it in tomorrow.
It won't count.
I'll take the honor.
What are we counting for?
Go Buffs?
He did it.
I did it.
Jake failed.
What are we counting for, though?
1-1-0. I don't know.
All right, whatever. Post-game show tomorrow.
Losing.
That is not true. Post-game show.
Just like the twerk off, the imaginary twerk off, you conceded. You didn't want to try.
Whatever.
You didn't want to try to out twerk right.
All right, sure. We'll be back tomorrow. Basically, once press conferences are done, I don't know, hour or so after the game.
Yeah.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.